So just to set expectations, Deadpool said, staring directly at the invisible audience. This is either a prestigious Stephen King-style horror story or the dumbest crossover since Batman vs. Superman. He stood at the edge of a storm drain in Derry, Maine, hands on his hips, red suit already stained with something that legally and morally refused to be called water. Behind him, a quiet suburban street, white fences, neatly trimmed lawns, the kind of place where people pretend nothing bad ever happens. In front of him, darkness, damp concrete, and the overwhelming narrative smell of childhood trauma. Deadpool pointed at the drain. This, he continued, is where kids vanish, adults ignore obvious warning signs, and therapists buy vacation homes. So naturally, he gestured at himself, I'm going in. He jumped. He landed in sewage, slipped, windmilled dramatically, and somehow did not fall. He paused, looked down at his boots, and sighed. Great. I've been shot, stabbed, burned alive, and turned into marketable merchandise, and this is still the low point. The sewer stretched ahead, a long concrete tunnel lit by flickering bulbs that looked like they were one malfunction away from a union strike. Deadpool sniffed the air. Ah, dairy, notes of rust, mold, and unresolved generational trauma. A red balloon floated lazily past his face. Deadpool did not react. Nope, not today. I know that balloon. I've seen the movies. I read the book and skimmed the Wikipedia page at 3 a.m. like a responsible adult. The balloon stopped. Slowly, deliberately, it drifted back. Footsteps echoed from the darkness. Leather shoes, then striped pants, then white gloves emerging from shadow like they were late to their own nightmare. Pennywise the dancing clown stepped into the light. White makeup, a smile stretched just a little too wide, eyes that did not blink often enough to feel real. Deadpool stared at him. Pennywise stared back. They stood there in silence. Deadpool cleared his throat. Okay, first of all, incredible commitment to the aesthetic. Second, do you have any idea how many people told me not to come here? Pennywise's smile widened. Hello, he said softly. Are not you afraid? Deadpool tilted his head. That depends. Are we talking heart-racing terror or existential dread caused by knowing I'm a fictional character owned by a massive corporation? The sewer lights dimmed. The walls seemed to stretch, bending inward, like the tunnel was slowly deciding to eat them. Pennywise took a step closer. I am everything you fear. Deadpool nodded thoughtfully. Huh, so you're my therapist now, because this feels like the wrong environment for emotional breakthroughs. A balloon behind Pennywise popped. Just one. Pennywise paused. Deadpool grinned beneath the mask. Oh, did that mess up the vibe? Sorry, I have a condition. It's called cannot respect horror tropes. The clown leaned forward, voice dropping into something deeper, layered, ancient. You think this is funny? Deadpool leaned in as well. No, he said. I think you are a classic horror metaphor that never accounted for someone who knows the script. The air went cold. Somewhere deep in the sewer, something shifted, not moving closer, but rearranging itself, like a story realizing it had a problem. Deadpool straightened. Okay, he muttered. Now we're officially off the rails. The lights went out. Total darkness. Deadpool's voice echoed in the black. Cool, 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 cool. This is usually where there's a punchline. There was not. And for the first time since stepping into Derry, Deadpool was not sure what came next. Darkness settled in the sewer like a held breath. Deadpool waited 3 seconds. Then 5. Then 10. Okay, he said finally, voice echoing too cleanly for comfort. Either this is the longest dramatic pause in horror history, or my Wi-Fi just dropped. No answer. He waved a hand in front of his mask. Nothing. No glow. No flicker. No convenient horror lighting. That's new, he muttered. Usually by now there's whispering, or chanting, or at least a creepy child humming a nursery rhyme that definitely ends in murder. Something shifted. Not footsteps, not movement. Perspective. The darkness felt edited. Deadpool rolled his shoulders, forcing levity. All right, Pennywise, buddy, if this is your idea of foreplay, I should warn you, I charge extra. A shape emerged ahead. Pale, tall, familiar. Pennywise stepped into view as if the darkness had decided to render him last. His smile was gone, not replaced by a snarl, not twisted into rage, just absent. That was worse. You are interfering, Pennywise said. Deadpool squinted. Interfering with what, exactly? Your meal plan? Your brand identity? Because I gotta say, the clown thing? Very strong start. Maybe update the shoes. Pennywise ignored him. You collapse tension. You dissolve anticipation. You puncture fear before it can ripen. Deadpool blinked. Did the cosmic murder clown just critique my pacing? The walls around them subtly changed. The tunnel elongated, repeating itself in identical segments, like a copied paragraph pasted one too many times. Deadpool noticed. Oh, that's clever. Endless hallway, symbol of inevitability. Very shining. But let me save you some time. He turned around, pointed behind him. We're going to end up right back where we started. He walked 10 steps, turned. Pennywise stood behind him. Deadpool jumped. Okay, fine. That one works. Credit where credit's due. Pennywise's eyes glowed faintly yellow. You laugh, he said, because you think this is performance. Deadpool shrugged. I mean, yeah? Pennywise raised a hand. The sewer peeled. Reality folded backward like wet paper, and suddenly Deadpool stood in a different place entirely. A school hallway. Lockers. Fluorescent lights. The smell of floor cleaner and cheap cologne. Deadpool looked around. Oh, come on. High school? That's your move. That's like Horror 101. Children lined the hallway. They stared at him, whispering, laughing, pointing. Deadpool stiffened. Okay, he said carefully. I did not consent to background extras. A boy stepped forward, young, familiar. Wade Wilson, pre-scarred, pre-mask, pre-everything. Pennywise's voice echoed from nowhere. This is where the joke started. Young Wade looked up at Deadpool. His eyes were tired. You never shut up, the boy said. You think if you keep talking, no one will notice how scared you are? Deadpool swallowed. Wow, you found my internal monologue. Congrats, gold star. The lockers slammed shut in unison. The hallway darkened. Young Wade took a step closer. What happens, the boy asked, when the joke stops working? Deadpool opened his mouth. Nothing came out. For half a second, just half, the mask felt heavier. Then Deadpool snapped his fingers. Okay, nope, that's enough childhood vulnerability for one scene. Hard cut, new location, preferably with explosions. The hallway flickered, cracked, collapsed like a bad green screen. They were back in the sewer. Deadpool exhaled sharply. Yeah, did not love that. Gonna be honest. Pennywise studied him. You feel it, the clown said. The moment before humor, the moment fear almost arrives. Deadpool tilted his head. Almost is doing a lot of heavy lifting there, champ. The clown stepped closer. I do not need you to scream, Pennywise continued. I need you to believe. Deadpool tapped his mask. Yeah, see, there's the problem. I do not even believe in me. Pennywise's shadow stretched across the wall. It did not match his shape. It was larger, thinner, Wrong. You know this is a story, Pennywise said. That knowledge is your armor. Deadpool nodded. Yup, best superpower I've got. Well, that and not dying, and merchandising. I will take it from you. Deadpool laughed. Oh, buddy, you can take my spleen, my dignity, my Rotten Tomatoes score. The shadow moved independently. It crawled up the wall, peeling away like ink, and whispered, but not the audience. Deadpool froze. Okay, he said slowly. Now you're cheating. Pennywise smiled again, not wide, satisfied. You speak to them, the clown said. You rely on them. Their attention, their laughter. The sewer trembled. What happens, Pennywise asked softly, when they stop watching? The lights flickered back on. Deadpool looked around. The tunnel was empty. No clown, no balloons. Just him, alone. He glanced straight ahead, toward the unseen viewer. Guys? Silence. No laugh track. No reaction. Deadpool felt something cold settle in his chest. He forced a grin. Okay, very funny. You can clap now. Nothing. For the first time, Deadpool was not sure if he was still being watched. And somewhere, deep beneath Derry, Pennywise laughed. Not loudly, not joyfully, but like an editor finding the perfect place to cut. Deadpool stood alone in the sewer. No balloons, no clown, no dramatic music cue helpfully telling him how to feel. Just the drip of water and the distant sound of something heavy settling into place, like a book being closed 3 chapters too early. Okay, he said to the darkness. Either this is an artistic choice, or I just got ghosted by a cosmic entity, which, rude. He waved. Hello, Pennywise? Ancient embodiment of fear? Clown Bezos? Anybody? Nothing. Deadpool frowned beneath the mask. This was wrong. Not scary wrong, structural wrong. Usually when he paused, the world filled in the gap. A reaction, a beat, a laugh. Even silence had weight. This silence did not. It felt unfinished. Deadpool snapped his fingers. Nothing happened. Huh? He snapped again, harder. Still nothing. No quip echo, he muttered. No reaction shot, no sarcastic inner monologue callback. That is deeply concerning. He took a step forward. The sewer repeated. Same pipe, same crack in the wall, same flickering bulb. Deadpool stopped. We're looping. He turned around. Same view. Okay, that's new. Usually the loop comes after the emotional breakthrough. A sound echoed behind him. Applause. Slow. Deliberate. Deadpool spun. Pennywise stood at the far end of the tunnel, clapping with polite, almost bored approval. Well done, the clown said. You noticed. Deadpool pointed at him. Uh-huh, you do not get to applaud. You're the antagonist. That's my thing. Pennywise smiled thinly. You rely on response, he said. You speak, and the world answers. Deadpool crossed his arms. Yeah, it's called charisma. Look it up. Pennywise shook his head. No, he said. It's called attention. The tunnel shifted. Words appeared on the walls. Faint, etched into concrete like scars. Laugh, react, engage. Deadpool's stomach dropped just a fraction. Okay, you're making it weird now. Pennywise stepped closer. Fear requires belief, the clown said, but humor requires something more fragile. Deadpool smirked. Timing? Witnesses. The words on the wall peeled away. Deadpool looked around. Guys, he said again, quieter. This is the part where someone laughs, or gasps, or tweets. Nothing. He tried another joke. So, anyone else think this clown looks like if Tim Curry and Hot Topic had a baby? Silence. Deadpool swallowed. Pennywise tilted his head. "You feel it?" he said. "The absence." Deadpool forced a shrug. "I've had worse crowds. Ever perform in New Jersey?" The clown did not laugh. Deadpool felt it then, something tightening, like a hand closing around a thread. Not his throat. The scene. Rewrites. The sewer dissolved. Deadpool stood in a familiar place. A cheap apartment. Unmade bed. Pizza boxes. Katanas leaning against the wall like they paid rent. "Oh," Deadpool said. "Home sweet narrative reset." He glanced around. Something was off. The room was quieter. Too quiet. No background noise. No ambient hum. He walked to the mirror, pulled off his mask. Scarred face. Same as always. He smiled. The reflection did not. Deadpool's grin faltered. Rude. Behind him, Pennywise appeared, not as a clown, but as a presence, like the idea of him was being projected into the room. "This is your refuge," Pennywise said, "where you rebuild the joke." Deadpool turned. "Yeah, works every time. I die, I come back, I say something inappropriate, roll credits." Pennywise stepped closer. "What if the credits do not roll?" Deadpool scoffed. "They always roll." Pennywise raised a hand. The room paused. Mid-motion dust hung in the air. The hum froze into silence. Deadpool tried to move. He could, but only slightly, like pushing against invisible resistance. Pennywise circled him. "You are not afraid of pain," the clown said. "You are not afraid of death." Deadpool smirked weakly. "Correct. But you are afraid of irrelevance." Deadpool laughed. "Oh, wow, you dug deep. Did you also find my Twitter drafts?" Pennywise leaned close. "You fear the moment when no one is listening." Deadpool's laughter stopped, just for a second. That was enough. The room rewrote. Deadpool blinked, and suddenly he stood on a movie set. Cameras, lights, crew members bustling around him. He brightened instantly. "Oh, thank God! Unionized labor!" A director shouted, "Places!" Deadpool waved. "Hey, big fan of your work. Love the part where you—" The director looked straight through him. Deadpool frowned. "Okay, method directing. I respect it." He stepped toward a camera. The cameraman adjusted focus. Past him. Deadpool waved again. Nothing. "Oh no," he muttered. "Oh no, 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 no." He grabbed a crew member by the shoulder. The man passed through him like smoke. Deadpool stumbled back. "Guys?" Pennywise appeared beside the director's chair, watching calmly. "This is a story without you," he said. The cameras rolled. Actors entered the scene. Superheroes, big names, capes, explosions. Deadpool watched, invisible. "They replaced me," he whispered. The scene played perfectly, funny, clean, marketable. No interruptions, no fourth wall. Deadpool laughed, sharp, panicked. Okay, very funny. You proved your point. Let's cut back to the sewer now." Pennywise shook his head. "You are not necessary," he said. "You are an indulgence." Deadpool clenched his fists. "No," he snapped. "I'm the punchline. You are the noise." The set dissolved. Darkness rushed in. Deadpool gasped as if surfacing from water. He was back in the sewer. The loop was gone. The tunnel stretched forward, new, unfamiliar. Deadpool steadied himself. "All right," he said quietly. "That was uncalled for." Pennywise stood ahead, fully clown again, smile restored. "You see now," the clown said. "I do not need to scare you." Deadpool drew a katana. "Oh, good, because I was worried this was going to stay metaphorical." He charged. The blade sliced clean through Pennywise's neck. The clown's head fell, and burst into confetti. Deadpool skidded to a stop. What? The confetti rained down, spelling words as it fell. Not canon. Pennywise reappeared behind him. You can kill me forever, the clown said, as long as the story allows it. Deadpool turned slowly. And you cannot touch me, he said, as long as I keep talking. Pennywise smiled. Then talk. The sewer lights dimmed again. But understand, Pennywise added softly, every joke costs you something. Deadpool felt the weight settle again, heavier now. He looked ahead, then, carefully, at the unseen audience. Okay, he said, new plan. We stop being funny. Somewhere deep in the dark, something stirred. Not laughter. Deadpool did not stop joking. He refined it. That was the mistake Pennywise did not anticipate. The sewer stretched into a wide chamber, circular, cathedral-like, its ceiling lost in shadow. Red balloons hovered at different heights, frozen in place like paused icons in a game menu. Deadpool walked in, slow, deliberate. Okay, he said, cracking his neck. New arena, boss room vibes, love the symmetry, hate the smell. Pennywise stood at the center, still, calm, hands folded. This is where you lose, the clown said. Deadpool stopped 10 feet away. See, that's where you're wrong, he replied. This is where you explain the rules. Pennywise smiled. There are no rules. Deadpool raised a finger. That's rule number 1 villains always say right before getting wrecked. The balloons twitched. Deadpool noticed. Oh, that got a response. He grinned wider. Fear is a script. Pennywise lifted off the ground slightly, shoes hovering inches above the sewer floor. I am older than your species, he said. I have devoured civilizations that did not yet have language. Deadpool nodded. Cool, so you're pre-dialogue DLC. That explains a lot. The chamber darkened. Images flashed on the walls, children screaming, faces stretching in terror, mouths open too wide. Classic Pennywise. Deadpool did not look away. Instead, he commented, Okay, kid number 3, overacting. Kid number 5, nailed it. Natural scream, probably theater camp. The images flickered. Pennywise's voice sharpened. Stop narrating. Deadpool snapped his fingers. Cannot. That's how I process trauma. The clown descended slowly. You reduce fear to spectacle, Pennywise said. You cheapen it. Deadpool tilted his head. No, I demystify it. He gestured around them. You need atmosphere, build-up, silence. I need a mouth in bad timing. Pennywise's shadow stretched, filling the chamber, pressing inward like a living thing. You think this is a performance? Pennywise growled. Deadpool stepped into the shadow. I think you're a routine that never adapted. The shadow recoiled, just a little. Deadpool laughed. Oh, that's it? That's the button. Deadpool figures it out. Deadpool paced now, energized. You do not feed on fear, he said. You feed on participation. Pennywise's eyes narrowed. You run, Deadpool continued, on people playing along, believing the rules, being quiet when they're supposed to be quiet. He pointed at the balloons. Symbolism, anticipation. You're basically horror theater. The sewer walls pulsed. Shut up, Pennywise hissed. Deadpool clapped. There it is. First, shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, the monster is cracking. Pennywise lunged. Reality collapsed between them, space folding like paper. Pennywise became a spider thing, limbs too many, teeth everywhere, screaming with layered voices. Deadpool was swallowed whole. Darkness, pressure, screeching. Deadpool sighed. Yup, been eaten before. usually by fandom discourse. Inside the creature, fear pressed in, not images, not memories, but weight, expectation, the demand to be afraid. Deadpool felt it pushing. He grinned. "Oh, I see what you're doing. You're trying to force the beat." He spoke louder. "Too bad I do not respect pacing." He started talking faster, louder, worse, bad jokes, intentional ones, awkward ones, jokes that ruined tension instead of relieving it. The inside of Pennywise shuddered. "What are you doing?" Pennywise roared. "Killing the vibe," Deadpool replied cheerfully. "Ever been in a room where someone won't not stop talking? That's psychological torture, baby." The walls convulsed. Deadpool was spat back into the chamber, landing in sewage. He stood, dripping. Pennywise staggered. "You are corrupting the fear," the clown snarled. Deadpool wiped sludge off his shoulder. "Yup, you need fear to be pure. I make it self-aware." He leaned in. "And fear that knows it's fear stops working." Pennywise tries to end it. The balloons exploded. The chamber shrank violently. Pennywise dropped the clown voice. "You cannot win," he said, a voice now vast, layered, inhuman. "I am not bound to tone or genre." Deadpool drew both katanas. "True, but you are bound to expectations." He pointed upward, not at the ceiling, at them, the unseen audience. "You scare people because they want to be scared," Deadpool said. "They came here for it." Pennywise hesitated. Deadpool pressed. "But they came to me to laugh." The chamber trembled. "And the second they laugh," Deadpool finished, "you do not get fed." Pennywise screamed, not in pain, but in starvation. The sewer began collapsing inward, reality losing cohesion. "This story ends with fear," Pennywise roared. Deadpool stepped back, swords ready. "Maybe," he said, "but not yours." The darkness rushed in, not toward Deadpool, past him, toward us. Deadpool turned slowly, realization dawning. "Oh." He looked back at Pennywise. "You're not fighting me," he said quietly. "You're switching targets." Pennywise smiled. And for the first time since the story began, Deadpool did not have a joke ready. Deadpool stared into the darkness rushing past him. Not at him, past him, toward the invisible point where the audience should have been. "Hey," he said slowly. "Hey, no, that's off limits." Pennywise stood perfectly still, watching Deadpool instead of the void. "You taught me something," the clown said calmly. "Fear is not the only currency." Deadpool turned back to him. "Oh no," he muttered. "No, no, no. Do not tell me you just discovered engagement metrics." The darkness thickened, no longer environmental, but directional, like a spotlight turned inside out. Deadpool stepped in front of it instinctively, spreading his arms. You fight me. That's how this works. Protagonist privilege." Pennywise smiled. "You are not the protagonist," he said. The words hit harder than any claw. Deadpool scoffed. "Wow, bold claim from a sentient birthday party decoration." But his eyes flicked again, past the clown, into the unseen. Something felt responsive, not laughing, not reacting, watching. Pennywise continued, almost conversational now. "You arrive knowing the script," he said. "You spoil the tension. You poison the fear." Deadpool nodded. "Yup, that's my brand." "But they," Pennywise said, gesturing vaguely outward, "do not." Deadpool's grin thinned. "They think they're safe," the clown went on. "They think awareness is armor, irony, distance, commentary." The darkness pulsed. Deadpool shook his head. "Buddy, if you're about to give a TED talk about modern media consumption, I swear." "They laugh," Pennywise said, because they recognized the pattern. The sewer walls began to show reflections, not scenes, not memories, but people. Faces lit by screens, eyes focused, smiling, leaning forward. Deadpool's breath caught. Oh, oh, that's not cool. Pennywise's voice softened. And recognition, he said, is the first step of belief. Deadpool turned slowly in place, taking it in. You're not feeding on fear, he said quietly. No, you're feeding on participation. The word echoed. Deadpool laughed, sharp and uneasy. Okay, clever, very clever. You're pivoting from horror to meta-horror. Respect, he raised a finger. But you're forgetting one thing. Pennywise tilted his head. I do not scare them, Deadpool said. I make them comfortable. Pennywise smiled wider. Yes, he said, until now. The joke turns. The sewer opened, not expanded, opened like a mouth. Deadpool felt gravity shift, not downward but outward, pulling at something intangible. He planted his feet. All right, he said loudly, forcing cheer. Audience, check in. Everyone still having fun? The darkness answered, not with sound, but with attention. Deadpool felt it like pressure behind the eyes. Okay, he muttered. That's a new sensation. Do not like that. Pennywise raised both hands. The reflections on the walls sharpened. Faces leaned closer. Pupils dilated. You taught them to laugh at fear, the clown said. I am teaching them to notice it. Deadpool lunged. He moved faster than thought, blades flashing, slicing straight through Pennywise's torso. The clown split apart and reassembled midair, unharmed. Deadpool skidded to a stop. Right, forgot. Eldritch rules. Pennywise stepped forward. You cannot kill me, he said, but you can introduce me. The darkness surged. Deadpool spun back toward it. Nope, he snapped. No monologues for the audience. That's my thing. He did the only thing he knew how to do. He went bigger, louder, faster. He started talking, rapid-fire jokes, references, insults, callbacks, self-deprecation stacked on top of absurdity. A wall of noise. Okay, if anyone's confused, this is the part where the clown explains capitalism. I stab him, we all go home, post memes, 5 stars, would cross over again. The pressure eased. The darkness hesitated. Deadpool felt it and pressed harder. Yes, that's it. You hear that? Overload. Too much commentary. They cannot focus. Pennywise watched, expression unreadable. Deadpool did not notice the shift at first. The jokes were landing, but not like before. There was no release, no relief, just fixation. The faces on the walls were not laughing. They were listening. Deadpool slowed. Guys, he said, you're supposed to laugh there. Nothing. Pennywise took another step forward. You train them, he said softly, to stay. Deadpool's mouth went dry. You made them comfortable watching pain, Pennywise continued, because it was funny, because it was safe. Deadpool shook his head. No. I make pain survivable. Pennywise's smile sharpened. So do I. Realization. Deadpool backed up slowly. You're not switching targets, he said. You already did. Pennywise nodded. They were never afraid with you, he said. They were afraid through you. The sewer trembled, reality thinning like paper rubbed too hard. Deadpool laughed weakly. Okay, this is the part where I say something clever and turn the tables. He waited. Nothing came. Huh. Pennywise leaned closer. What scares you now? The clown asked. Deadpool looked again at the reflections. Not screaming, not panicking, engaged, invested. That they will not look away, he whispered. Pennywise's eyes glowed. The trap closes. The darkness surged again, but this time it did not rush outward. It folded in. Deadpool felt himself becoming clearer, sharper, more defined, pinned. Hey, he said, trying to step back. Why do I feel framed? Pennywise raised a hand. The sewer froze. Mid-drip, mid-flicker. You are the perfect lens, the clown said. You remove fear without removing attention. Deadpool swallowed. You do not need them to be afraid, he said slowly. You just need them to watch something that knows fear. Pennywise smiled. And you, he said, know it better than anyone. Deadpool looked straight ahead, not joking now. If they stop watching, he said, you starve. Yes. And if they keep watching, I eat. Deadpool closed his eyes. I trained them too well. Pennywise leaned in, almost gentle. One more scene, he said. Give them one more. Deadpool opened his eyes, looked straight at us, forced a smile. Okay, he said. You want a show? The darkness leaned closer. Deadpool exhaled. Let's end it. Deadpool stood perfectly still. That alone should have been terrifying. He faced the darkness where the audience should be, where attention pressed like a warm hand against glass. He felt it now, constant, patient, hungry. Not fear, expectation. Pennywise waited behind him, polite, almost reverent. One more scene, the clown repeated. Give them something to hold. Deadpool took a breath. Okay, he said, but I'm calling it. He turned, straightened his posture, rolled his shoulders like an actor hitting a final mark. Ladies and gentlemen, he announced, voice bright again, practiced. Welcome to the end of the crossover you did not know you were complicit in. The darkness leaned in. Deadpool smiled. Let's do what we do best. The sewer reshaped itself instantly, not into horror, into spectacle. Spotlights snapped on. Music swelled, too triumphant, too clean. The walls smoothed. The filth evaporated. The world became cinematic, expensive, safe. Deadpool walked center stage. Pennywise watched from the edge, unmoving. Deadpool bowed. Okay, quick recap for anyone who skipped the middle chapters. Ancient fear demon meets walking punchline. Chaos ensues. Capitalism wins. He paced. Now normally, this is where I sacrifice myself, crack one last joke, stab the clown, and you all leave feeling emotionally satisfied, but fundamentally unchanged. The darkness pulsed. Deadpool stopped pacing. But here's the thing, he said. That ending does not feed him anymore. Pennywise tilted his head. Deadpool glanced back. Do not get cocky. You're still a nightmare in a party hat. He turned forward again. You see, fear used to be about not knowing, Deadpool continued. Darkness, silence, what's under the bed? He snapped his fingers. Now, you know everything. You read spoilers. You watch breakdowns. You laugh at the monster. The spotlights dimmed slightly. But laughing does not starve it, Deadpool said. It just seasons the meal. Pennywise smiled. Deadpool nodded. Yeah, took me a while too. The reveal. Deadpool removed his mask. Not dramatically, casually. Scarred face, tired eyes. I thought I was the antidote, he said. The guy who makes fear safe, consumable. He gestured around. And that's exactly why this works. The reflections appeared again, faces lit by screens. Close now, intimate. Deadpool looked at them. At some point, he said softly, you stopped being scared with me and started being curious about fear. Pennywise stepped forward. You taught them to stay, the clown said. Deadpool nodded. I taught them that nothing really matters, that pain resets, that horror is content. He laughed once, dry. And that's the punchline, the choice. Deadpool turned fully toward Pennywise. So here's the ending you want, he said. I keep performing. They keep watching. You keep feeding. Pennywise's eyes gleamed. Yes. Deadpool raised a finger. But that's boring. The spotlights flickered. Deadpool faced the audience again. And here's the ending you expect, he said. I stop. I go quiet. You feel uncomfortable. You leave. The darkness hesitated. Deadpool exhaled. Neither works. Pennywise frowned for the first time. Deadpool smiled. I'm not going to stop the show, he said. I'm going to finish it. He looked directly at us. No cliffhanger, no sequel hook, no safety net. The pressure surged. Because as long as the story ends, Deadpool continued, you cannot stay inside it. Pennywise lunged. No! Deadpool snapped his fingers. The cut. Everything froze. Not time. Narrative. Mid-motion, Pennywise hung suspended, mouth open, eyes wide, not in rage but realization. Deadpool walked past him, unhurried. You were right about one thing, Deadpool said. Fear needs participation. He turned back. But so do you. He reached out, not with a weapon, not with a joke, and pulled. The world tore like paper. Scenes collapsed. Symbols unraveled. The balloons deflated into nothing. The spotlights shattered. The sewer vanished. So did the stage. So did Pennywise's smile. The reflections on the walls blinked, confused, then faded. Deadpool felt himself thinning, fading. He staggered, suddenly human in the most terrifying way. Okay, he muttered. Did not think this through. Pennywise screamed, not in pain, but in hunger. You cannot end me, the clown roared. I exist between stories. Deadpool looked back one last time. Yeah, he said, but not outside them. The final line. The darkness collapsed inward, compressing into a single point. Deadpool stood at its center, unraveling. He looked straight at us. No joke, no grin, just truth. If you're wondering what happens next, he said quietly, this is the part where you decide. The point imploded. Black. Epilogue. There is no scream, no laughter, no music, just silence. Then, a single line of text appears, plain and unstyled. You're still here. A beat. Another line fades in beneath it. Why? Nothing else follows. No credits, no post-scene, no punchline. Just the uncomfortable realization that the story ended, and you did not leave. Somewhere, very far away, or maybe very close, something stirs. Hungry,